I want to chat with you for a few minutes about an interesting event had happened to me last week. I was driving to meet a friend for our normal Thursday morning meeting, and I had a great idea. Thought about a fellow that I could hire, at least part-time, to help me out with some things at Higher Ground, some areas that need to be done that I'm not all that good at, technical kind of stuff. And I just said, as I'm driving, what do you think? Now, I said it to God. It surprised me because I've never said that before about anything to God that I know of. What do you think? What do you think about my idea? And a word came. Careful. I knew it was my answer to the question, what do you think? Now, I knew that God wasn't saying, don't do it. I also knew God wasn't saying, go ahead. God was answering my question. Careful. My tendency is to come up with a good idea, run off and talk to somebody about it, and maybe try it out. Spend a lot of energy on it. Maybe it doesn't work out so well. Maybe it's okay. But I'm doing it pretty much under my own steam, my own direction. A number of years ago, there was a fairly popular book titled Every Man's Battle. And the book was about sexual temptation. Well, I'm sure the title was catchy and it sold a lot of books. It's kind of a popular notion to think about what every man's battle is. Years before that, Frank Sinatra made a lot of money off a song. I Did It My Way. There was something about that song that never really set very well with me. It sounded rather arrogant and didn't sound much like what I read in Scripture is the way to do life. But the truth is, I have functioned a good share of my life by doing it my way. Every man's battle is not sexual temptation. It's doing it my way. It's independence. It's the dominant desire in my life is to figure out how I'm going to do it in order to avoid pain, enhance my own experience a little bit, and taking the time to simply say to God about all kinds of things, what do you think, has not been on my radar screen. It's not been my MO, my method of operation. But that day, nearly a week ago, I had that experience and realized in the moment this was a simple phrase, a simple prayer that I could use every day throughout the day, and it would serve me well. Here's why. When I ask that question in sincerity, I really want to know what God thinks. God knows the answer to my question. More importantly, or just as important, God knows the timing for the answer. When should I receive it? If I am not really open to whatever God says, likely I'm not going to get an answer anyway. And if I'm not willing to wait and do whatever the answer is in God's timing, I may not get the answer. When I ask the question, what do you think? With all sincerity, with openness, with a complete dependence on God for guidance, and I set aside my reasoning based on my memory system that's contaminated from early on, a memory system that's been contaminated by culture's influence, what others have told me. when I ask the simple question, what do you think? And I wait to hear from God as to what I should do and when I should do it, I begin to get life together. What do you think? Is a critical question. And I'm grateful that it came to me. I'm beginning to start using it. I'm going to practice it. I'm going to see how it works in many situations. Give it a try. What do you think?